Hello, good morning. This is Tracy K. I look a little strange because my camera's doing some weird things this morning, but I'm the Joyful Voyager, and I just wanted to talk today about something that people have been asking me about. It's like, okay, when we start traveling again, and who knows, maybe you've got some plans, maybe you don't, but I get a lot of questions like, I have a really particular kind of diet, or there's something I either have to avoid salt. For me, I'm a plant-based eater. Or there's just something I worry about food. There's people that really worry about food when they go on a trip, and how am I going to stay on this healthy eating plan that I have when I'm on vacation, I'm going to this foreign country, wherever it is. So I come up with a great system that I use. And sorry guys, my eyes are looking off to the side there because I can't get my thing tilted here, but we'll worry about that later. So what do? Okay, so here's something to think about. Before you even leave on your trip, you have to do a little bit of planning. Okay, so take, for example, I always like to use this one because it was one of my favorite places to go was Warsaw, Poland. Okay, now, I had to figure out what to do while I was there, because would they have food that would fit into my particular eating plan? And where would I find it, and how would I get there? So before I left, I did a little research. So I was able to research. The internet's great for this. You can search out, whatever you want, restaurants that serve, paleo or whatever it is that you want, and things will start to pop up. Then Google Maps is a good place to figure out what to do. It's like, okay, I'm at such and such hotel. You look it up on the map, and then you can see what things are around there. And you can even say, okay, from my hotel to this particular place, what's the distance? I'm like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. So then I was able to come up with, okay, this is where I'm at. These are all the places around me. And guess what? Uber is great. I recommend that to use because it's much cheaper than a cab. You got where you needed to go safely, so you can get wherever you needed to go. So that solved that problem. But so you want to do some planning. Where can I eat? You need to plan before your transit. So one of the things that will really mess you up on a trip is not being hydrated enough. So before you leave on your trip, really be conscious the day or two before. If your water intake has fallen off, make sure you can sip a lot of water before you even take off on the trip. That's going to help you with jet lag. And it's also going to help you during your transit. Usually it's going to be an airplane. It could be a car, whatever it is. You can get very, very dry. So you want to hydrate before you go. You want to hydrate during your trip. Now I'm getting to the eating part. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there. Now, like when I went to Europe, anytime I go there, or flight, whatever I'm doing, cars, I've taken road trips. I plan my food. So because you don't know what they're going to serve you on an airplane, train, if you're on the road, you just don't know what you're going to find. So I always recommend that you pack your own food for the trip. Food, snacks, what have you. So I'll bring something with me to take on the plane, or I'll bring something with me to take, in the car. Like when we took a road trip, this is great. I love road trips. I should do a segment on that. But there was, we went to Las Vegas and we traveled by car. So it was really cool. You got to see the Continental Divide, but we had to plan on the road. So I had stuff in the car. I also did research, so I know what I was going to eat. So in transit, make sure you have what it is that you need to have. If you're on an airplane, they'll serve you water. Try to stay away from stuff like coffee. I'm setting you up for a healthy trip because, if you don't do the right things before you go, it really puts you behind the 8 ball when you get to your destination. So what you want to do is on the plane, try to stick with water. And, they bring you these tiny cups of water, and then it's like, can you come back, please? Ask if they'll leave you a bottle because you want to stay hydrated and you want to keep sipping, okay? Sip, sip, sip. I recommend an aisle seat for obvious reasons. But that's what I do. Okay, so when you get there, because you stayed hydrated, you've already taken care of yourself on the airplane or the train, whatever it is, you made sure you had what you needed to eat. That lowers your stress level. Because if you're stressed out about what to eat, and I've been there where you don't plan properly, or if I don't plan, I'm starving on the plane, I would rather starve than eat some of the stuff they have. So that takes your stress level down. And because you've done your pre-planning, when you get to your destination, it's like, oh, okay, I know all these cool places to eat. And, use the internet, because many times you can look up a restaurant and it'll even have the menu there. And if you get caught, like say when I was in Poland, or Germany, people wanted to go out to dinner, and it might have, this is what you do if you get caught with the unexpected. Like there was a restaurant that people want to go to and they wanted to go to, and it wasn't on my list. So it caused me a moment of panic, but this is how you solve that. When you get there, I have found that if you just say to the waitress or wait person, hey, you know what do you have on this menu that will help me do this? Because if you look at the menu, it'll be like, oh, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. But chances are they can take, the chef is very happy to make something that's, that will work for you. Okay? So that's how you, you have to, pre-planning is everything to stay healthy on your trip. So whether you eat paleo, whether you eat vegan, whatever kind of plan you follow, low salt, that's probably a very easy one. It's very easy to do. Now, I'll tell you one of my other little tricks. Now, one reason I like cruising so much, I like not just cruising, but I look for particular types of trips that will allow me the flexibility to have what I want. So for an example, I took a very nice cruise to Alaska, and I'm just using that as an example. It doesn't have to be a cruise, but I was particular about who I went with, because there were certain things I wanted that you usually can't get. Like, I like to have organic soy milk. Okay, I'll use it in stuff like, oatmeal, morning coffee, what have you, and I like it unsweetened. I can't stand sweetened plant milk. Yuck. Do you know that when I went on that, they asked, I was able to get everything I needed on that trip. They had it waiting for me. They knew it was me. They could take care of my dietary concerns. So that's what I want to tell you, whether you choose, to cruise or you fly to a destination. One thing I do is, since I do focus on wellness travel, not just because it was born out of my desire to stay healthy, but because I wanted to help others. This is how I do healthy eating. I don't go to destinations and take trips that will not allow me, that will not cater to the particular tastes that I have. Being a plant-based eater, that's just my thing. I want to make sure that that's available, and or they're willing to work with me when I get there. Because there are, so I avoid travel situations, cruise lines, what have you, that won't cater to that. Because there's a lot, depending, and the more specialized they are, I like trips where they will, they know your name, they take care of you. And especially in a health and wellness situation, you want that. Who wants to get someplace and be stressed out? One reason you go away on a trip is that, you want to be relaxed. And you want to avoid stress. That's another way to, you want to stay well. So this is how you do it. So you pre-plan, like I've discussed. You make sure you take something with you during transit that fits your eating plan. And when you're there, you've already done the research, so you know the places to eat. And when you happen to go someplace unexpected, just know what to ask for. Most of the time, a restaurant will cater to that. But when it comes to resorts, cruise ships, tours, what have you, then you have to be a little bit more particular about which one of those you choose, because not all of them can and will cater to your particular needs, depending on what they are, because maybe they're not in a position to do so. If it's, if it's one of these like large, how do I say, I tend to stay away from large cruise ships that have thousands of people, because they just simply can't put what you need to eat on the ship, because it's just, they're not set up that way. So I'll go with, my advice is to go with smaller ships. They typically could cater to what it is that you need, to the wellness experience you're looking for. But I will say this, by and large, the travel industry is getting very smart. So I have been able to send people on trips where they're, unexpected, cruise lines I never would have expected, or resorts that will cater specifically. So they're getting very smart. But that's what I would say. You've got to plan your trip. If you're going to go to a destination, you got to think about all of this stuff. Now, that's where a great travel agent comes in to help you, and I'm very delighted to help you. But I just wanted to give you that advice. And then the biggest thing about, keeping healthy eating going when you are on your vacation is that you really have to want that. I mean, now that's not to say, if say you're in Paris or something, it's not that you don't want to live a little, like, and it depends on the person. Like, say for instance, you go to Paris and you want a real crepe from, one of the local, food stalls or restaurants there. I mean, when are you going to get a real Parisian crepe? If you want to try something, life is about living. Travel is about living and experiencing new things. But you don't have to fall off the wagon, okay? You can try something, but just keep in mind that you are going to maintain pretty much consistently, as much as you can, a healthy eating plan. Because there's no reason to derail, your health while you're on a trip. It doesn't mean you can't taste something or try something, but you've got to have the mindset that I am important to me, my health is important to me, and I'm fanatical, okay? I know other people that are, and one reason I am is because I am a cancer survivor, okay? 6 years ago, yeah, no, almost 7 years ago, my life was changed with a cancer diagnosis. I completely changed my life because I wanted to get well and stay well, and I did. And once I did, I was determined that I was going to, and I did, praise God, I got well. I was determined to help people to do the same thing, which is why I wrote a book. I wrote a blog. I was featured in a national magazine. And I say these things not to brag about it, but because I am passionate about helping people stay well. So this is why I'm crazy about what I eat on the road. So anybody who's traveled with me will tell you that, oh my gosh, she's really, I don't stray to the right nor to the left, but then that's just me, because I had to fight so hard for my life and my health. So, if you're in that same boat, or if you're somewhere in between, I just wanted to give you some guidelines. And also comment below if you have any questions about, anything in this broadcast. If there's anything that I can answer for you, I'm happy to do it. And mostly I want to thank you for tuning in today, if you did. And please comment below and let me know what you liked about this video, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. I'll be back next week with another interview, actually. Bye-bye.